Urban Development in Karnataka, Part 7. In this conclusive essay, we will summarize overall issues and challenges of urbanization in Karnataka. Further, we will take an overall look at the various policies and programs and projects of the state and see how the urban development component is also included in them. Issues and challenges of urbanization in Karnataka. In spite of new initiatives, following have been the major challenges of urbanization in Karnataka. The present urban population is 2.36 crores, but the increase in the growth of urban population is 4% more than the last decade. The migration from rural to urban areas is another issue. Growing population has widened the urban infrastructure deficit, that is water supply, the solid waste management, roads, powers, pollution, etc. The sustainability environment has become a big issue. Improving and monitoring and delivery of public services is also a very challenging issue. Now, addressing regional imbalances. The challenges of urbanization in the state may be understood through different perspectives. There is a spatial distribution of urban areas, and it reveals emerging demographic trends, the infrastructure shortfall on several fronts. There is a challenge of ensuring a basic welfare of the poor in the urban area and the need for strengthening their governance, planning, and administration. Migration. Migration of a large numbers of people to the cities has led to increase in urban poverty. The rate of urban poverty in Karnataka is now higher than that of the rural areas. It is also higher than the urban poverty rate of several other states as well as the all India average. Although only a small portion of the urban population in the state lives in slums, the monthly per capita expenditure by poor families in Karnataka is stated to be lower than in many other large states. Therefore, it has become an imperative to develop policies and programs by which the welfare of the urban poor is protected. Of particular concern in this regard are the shortfalls in adequate housing for the poor, their sanitary conditions, and the opportunities to education and jobs. This challenge is made more difficult to overcome by the fact that the problems of the poor are now tackled by a number of different government departments acting independently rather than a single body with the responsibility for their welfare. Migration also stretches the carrying capacity of Bangalore and other cities. Now, infrastructure shortfall. The growth of urban areas has vastly outpaced the state's effort to develop infrastructure to serve the growing needs of the cities. There is a new substantial deficit of infrastructure in several key areas. They are roads and transport, both within the cities and between the important cities in the state, housing, drinking water supply, domestic sanitation, sewage treatment systems, solid waste collection and management, stormwater drains, lakes in urban areas, and domestic energy. In all these cases, the gap between the demand and supply is very large, affecting millions of families with consequences for the quality of life in urban areas across many measures. Resources. As the demand for infrastructure continues to grow, the resources have to be mobilized to make new investments and to adequately maintain the assets created. It is also important to ensure good standards in quality and design of construction. Then there are governance issues. The far-sighted and enabling provisions of the 74th Constitutional Amendment have not been fully embraced in Karnataka in all its urban settlements. As a result, urban local bodies suffer from two kinds of shortfalls. One, they do not have a necessary financial strength or autonomy that is necessary to develop their capacity for municipal administration and must therefore rely on state-level funding for their various programs. Secondly, only a subset of the various responsibilities given to them under the Constitution has been transferred by the state. Citizens' participation in the governance of the urban areas therefore remains an unfulfilled promise, unlike in rural areas where the Panchayat Raj institutions have greatly devolved power to local communities. Urban local bodies lack the capacity to deal with the local planning needs. In the urbanization of the Karnataka state, the growth of Bangalore has to be given a special importance because it is not only state capital but also financial capital, educational capital, and it carries many other significance. During the last 2 decades, the size and economic role of Bangalore have both become disproportionately high within the state. This has created a self-fulfilling cycle by which even more new investment and migrants are attracted to the Bangalore metropolitan region. Even the second largest urban agglomeration, that is Hubli-Dharwad, is much smaller and its population is only 1/6 of Bangalore. Any plan for the future therefore has to redress this imbalance, but given the importance of the Bangalore to the economy of the state, this should be done carefully without sacrificing the interest of the capital. Now let us take a look at many projects which are undertaken in many towns and cities towards the urban development. There is a Karnataka Municipal Reforms Project. It is a World Bank assisted project which aims to strengthen institutional and financial frameworks in the urban service delivery at urban local bodies level. The total funding for this project is more than 13,000 crore rupees. This project includes the support for the implementation of the statewide reforms, namely implementation of double entry accrual based accounting system in 158 urban local bodies and computerization of municipal functions in 164 urban local bodies of the state. There is a separate cell under the control of the Director of Municipal Administration that has been created for this purpose. The computerization of municipal functions covers 5 modules, namely Urban Local Bodies website, Public Grievance Redressal, Birth and Death Certification, and GIS-based property tax information. There is a dedicated urban mapping cell that has been constituted under the control of a Directorate of Town and Country Planning to oversee the implementation. Then there is a Bangalore development component. It supports the rehabilitation of road networks, including improvement of footpaths, drainage, etc. The road rehabilitation work has already been completed by the Bangalore Mahanagarapalika. Greater Bangalore Underground Drainage Program project supports the construction of underground sewerage network of 2,300 kilometers and about 210,000 house service connections have been provided. This component has been funded under Jawaharlal Nehru National Project by the central government for an amount of 388 crore rupees. There is a North Karnataka Urban Sector Investment Program. It is the third Asian Development Bank assisted urban development project. The expected impact of the investment program is improved urban infrastructure and services which would result in overall improvement of quality of life in North Karnataka. This will also lead to increase in economic opportunities and growth in North Karnataka and reduced imbalances between the North Karnataka and rest of the state. There are 25 towns covered under this program. The project cost is estimated nearly 2,000 crore rupees, out of which Asian Development Bank loan is nearly 2/3 and the state government share is 1/3. The major components under the program are water supply, sewerage, stormwater drainage, road improvement, slum improvement, and non-municipal infrastructure such as fire and emergency service, tourism, and also lake development. There is another important project called Karnataka Urban Development and Coastal Environmental Management Project. It has been taken up with the financial assistance from the Asian Development Bank in the 10 towns of coastal Karnataka. The project consists of 6 parts dealing in the areas of capacity building, community participation, poverty reduction, water supply, rehabilitation and expansion, and urban environmental improvements, street and bridge improvements, coastal environmental management, and implementation assistance. Karnataka Urban Water Sector Improvement Project is another important project. The project aims at bringing changes in the water sector and service improvements through private sector participation. The first phase of the project has been implemented with the World Bank assistance in 3 cities, that is Belgaum, Gulbarga and Hubli-Dharwad, for improving water supply services. The project was implemented during the period 2005 to 2011. The total cost of the project was 237 crore rupees. As a part of this project, the major achievement has been a continuous pressured water supply has been provided in 5 demonstration zones. There is another project called Karnataka Urban Water Supply Modernization Project. Based on the success of the demonstration project, the proposal of upscaling 24 hours water supplies every day to the entire corporation areas of Hubli-Dharwad, Belgaum and Gulbarga was approved by the state government in the year 2008. The approximate project cost to the above 3 cities is 17,060 crore rupees. The government has accorded approval for a capital investment of 18 crore rupees during the first phase and rupees 765 crore rupees second phase, and after 2026 for all the 3 project cities, the rest of the amount will be sanctioned. Management Investment Program. The state government aims to implement an integrated water resources management program in the state with the Asian Development Bank assistance. For this purpose, there is an integrated and sustainable water resource management and investment program that is being developed. Under this program, it is proposed to modernize the existing irrigation infrastructure and to expand the urban water supply and sanitation. The total size of the project is estimated $450 million. Water Resource Department is the executing agency for the preparation of integrated water resource management and irrigation modernization components and overall coordination of the Karnataka Integrated Sustainable Water Resource Management Investment Program. Karnataka Urban Infrastructure Development and Finance Corporation is the executing agency for preparing water supply and sanitation component of the program. Upper Tungabhadra sub-basin has been selected as the pilot sub-basin. A proposal seeking a financial assistance of $50 million from the Asian Development Bank for implementing urban water supply and sanitation component has been sent to the central government by the state government. Now let us understand the financing pattern of urban development projects. The financial allocation for urban development in the 5-year plans of Karnataka has come down to nearly 13% during the 11th plan, though there was an absolute increase of 3,000 crore rupees during 11th plan. Financial resources are required for the following purposes, that is, provision of municipal services, operation and maintenance of assets, infrastructure development. Debt servicing municipalities are empowered to levy taxes on buildings or lands or both, that is property tax, advertisements, toll on vehicles other than those taxed under Karnataka Motor Vehicles Taxation Act, and water rate on water supplied by the municipalities. The Directorate of the Municipal Administration is the nodal agency to monitor the administrative, developmental and financial activities of the urban local bodies. There are many initiatives that have been taken, and let us take a brief look at them. E-governance initiatives in the urban local bodies. Municipal Reform Cell has been established as a center of all e-governance activities under Urban Development Department. ASTI, which is a GIS-based property tax information system, has been launched to enhance property tax collection to bring in a transparency, minimize tampering of records and tracking of defaulters. There is a Jalanidhi scheme in which the computerization of manual processes of collection of water charges has been done. Then there is the introduction of fund-based accounting system, introduction of public grievance redressal system. Now let us see the Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board activities. The Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board has taken up a Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage project. It consists of water supply component, slum development, management improvement services, sewage component and construction of sewage treatment plants, etc. Under the slum development component, tenders have been invited for providing water supply and sewerage facilities to 68 slums. Acquire the land at Kengeri for construction of wet well. Bangalore Metro Rail Corporation Limited is another important initiative which is trying to solve the Bangalore's chaotic urban transport problems. The major challenge in this is a new land acquisition bill which has taken place in the year 2014. The various provisions of the new act are likely to adversely affect the land acquisition for the phase 2 of the Bangalore Metro project. The main provisions which are likely to affect the acquisition in this are the provisions relating to the preparation and publication of social impact assessment study, appraisal of social impactment assessment report by an expert group, and the provisions relating to rehabilitation and a resettlement scheme. There is also compensation question which will be paid twice the market rate in the urban and 4 times the market rate in rural areas. Urban local bodies. To guide, control and supervise the affairs of the urban local bodies in the state, they will have to undertake to provide basic services to the citizens. The Urban Development Department guides the urban local bodies in carrying out the duties like construction of roads, bridges and beautification of traffic islands, maintenance of parks and playgrounds, solid waste management and rainwater harvesting, etc., and to provide a required training to the personnel of the urban local bodies and to provide solutions to the service problems of the employees working in the urban local bodies to bring up their morale and commitment in discharging their duties most effectively. Further, the department also conducts an effective monitoring system over the urban local bodies. For this, an expert committee has been constituted and it is based on its recommendation a suitable actions will be taken. We have come to the end of the essay. Now we will summarize the key points to remember in this essay, and they are: Karnataka Municipal Reforms Project. It is a World Bank assisted project which aims to strengthen institutional and financial framework in the urban service delivery at the urban local bodies level. The total funding for this project is 13,064 crore rupees. North Karnataka Urban Sector Investment Program is another important program funded by Asian Development Bank. The expected impact of the investment program is improved urban infrastructure and services, resulting in overall improvement of quality of life in urban areas. Karnataka Urban Development and Coastal Environmental Management Project has been taken up with the financial assistance of the Asian Development Bank in the towns of coastal Karnataka. There is a Karnataka Urban Water Sector Improvement Project. This project aims at bringing changes in water sector and service improvements through private sector participation. The first phase of the project has been implemented with the World Bank assistance in 3 cities, that is, Belagaon, Gulbarga, Hubli, Dharwad, for improving water supply services. There is a management investment program. The state government aims to implement integrated water resource management program in the state with the Asian Development Bank assistance. For this, an integrated and sustainable water resource management investment program has been developed. The financial allocation for urban development in the 5-year plans of Karnataka is around 13%. There have been many new initiatives in the urban development. They are e-governance initiatives in urban local bodies, which guide, control and supervise the affairs of the urban local bodies in the state. The urban local bodies will have to provide a basic services to the citizens. Other initiative is the effective monitoring system over the urban local bodies. For this, an expert committee has been constituted, and it is based on its recommendations suitable action is being taken. To summarize, there are challenges addressing the regional balances. The challenges of urbanization in the state can be understood only through different perspectives, that is, the spatial distribution of urban areas and their emerging demographic trends and the infrastructure shortfall on several fronts. There is a challenge of ensuring the basic welfare of the poor in urban areas and the need for strengthening their governance, planning and administration. Migration of large number of people to these cities is a problem, and it has led to increase in urban poverty. There is an infrastructure shortfall. The growth of urban areas has vastly outpaced the state's efforts to develop infrastructure to serve the growing needs of the cities. There is now a substantial deficit of infrastructure in several key areas, that is, governance issues. The far-sighted and enabling provisions of the 74th Constitutional Amendment have not been fully embraced in Karnataka. There is also growth of Bangalore. In terms of size and economic role, during the last 2 decades, the size and economic role of Bangalore have both become disproportionately high within the state. This has created a self-fulfilling cycle by which even more new investment and migrants are attracted to the Bangalore metropolitan region.